Hi everyone. One of the fastest ways and easiest ways to brew a smooth cup of coffee is by using a French press at home, especially if you don't have an automatic machine. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to brew a cup of coffee using a French press, specifically focusing on blooming. I'm going to start with what you need. So today I have a scale, just a basic scale, a cup, the French press, of course. I already have pre-ground beans. Right now I'm using La Colombe's Monte Carlo decaf beans. I'm also using a chopstick to stir because I don't like using metal on metal. It just makes my teeth hurt. So I'm using a chopstick today. Now that we have everything we need, let's start with the coffee and the blooming process. So like I said, I pre-measured my beans. This is about, I want to say, 4 tablespoons of beans. So you start with a ratio of 1 to 15, which is basically 1 gram of coffee to 15 grams of water. Um, but this is 4 tablespoons of coffee. So I'm going to use 60 grams of water that I'm going to measure out on my scale. Once you have everything ready, like the pre-ground, the beans, we'll start with the blooming. So first, I want to heat up my French press a little bit. I have a glass one, and I already have pre-boiled water, so the water should be boiled at 205 degrees. And when you take it off, let it drop down to 200 degrees. I like to give mine a little rinse just to make it a little bit hotter. So for the process of blooming, you want to pour all your beans into the cup. You want to make sure you have a nice, even, flat surface. And then we're going to pour some water over it just so it looks like wet sand. Not a lot, just enough to get the beans wet. While you're doing this, you also want to start a 5-minute timer because within those 5 minutes, or within 30 to 45 seconds, your beans should be bloomed. I think I overword these a little bit. That's okay. So blooming is basically the process that allows coffee to react with water, and the water releases carbon dioxide, which helps the water extract. In the blooming process, you'll see bubbles form when you start the bloom. That's how you know it's like right. And when you smell it, you'll get like a really fresh scent of coffee. I usually like to stir it. So there's this thing in coffee called a crust where the top is just crusty. You just stir the blooms until your 30 to 45 seconds are up. My 30 to 45 seconds are up, so I'll pour the rest of the water into here. I'm not measuring for this part, but once you get to pouring the water, you want to tare out your scale. Put it in milliliters. And for me, since I have 4 tablespoons of coffee, I'm going to do 60 milliliters of water. So I'm going to tare this out again and then fill this up until it says 60. Now, while we do that, we're going to let this rest. I have about 3 minutes left on my timer. So what you want to do is place the plunger on top of it. Don't push down yet. Just let this sit here for a little bit. And you're going to wait about 4 minutes. There's my timer. And now it's time to plunge and pour. After your 4 minutes is up, you're going to plunge your coffee, but you're going to do it slowly so that the water has more time to sit with the coffee. Now, this was a simple, easy 5-minute process. just to recap, what essentially you're doing is measuring the proper ratio. You're letting your coffee bloom, which is the most important part about French press. And for 4 minutes, you just wait. Um, Using a French press brings out bold, smooth flavors, and with decaf beans, you can get a lot of those natural oils.